Hey, so as of late, most recent, especially over the summer and warmer seasons, my new jam has been paddleboarding, especially as I ease off a little bit of running because it's been so terribly, terribly hot here in Texas. I've definitely been getting out on the lake more, and I'll be the first one to say I did in the past have an unnatural fear of lakes, maybe because I watched too many Lake Placid movies or Anaconda movies growing up, but that's neither here nor there. The most intriguing thing about paddleboarding for me has ironically not actually been the paddleboarding itself. As some of you know, I'm a little bit of a instigator in conversations sometimes. Other times I just like to poke and prod just to see what people are made of and investigate a little bit of thought process. And as of late, especially while I've discussed paddleboarding with people that have not yet had the chance to venture out on a paddleboard and hop in the water and learn, I've come to understand that the inherent fear that we all have that started as a child. I believe infants only have a couple initial fears. One of those being the fear of falling. Another fear being the fear of loud noises. And I think there's one or two other inherent fears that we're born with. But I hear a lot of people say they haven't tried paddleboarding and they might be willing to, but I would say the majority of people, it's not a issue of funds or financially or issue of time. Maybe it's a little bit of priorities, but what I've heard most from people is I haven't had the chance to paddleboard yet. I do want to get out there. I do want to give it a try. Just I'm kind of scared to fall. To which I typically try and maintain a straight face and not smile and ask a very simple question. Just out of curiosity, Jane Doe, hypothetically speaking, let's say we go on the lake, ocean, whatever body of water we get in. We're paddling. You're safe and sound. You're stable. If you do fall, I'd be more than willing to help you back up on your board and help you everything. But is it the fear of not being able to get back on your board, or is it just like you're scared to just fall in the water, period? Like, oh, well, I don't want to fall, but I sometimes I stop them. Athletic speaking, where would you fall, though, if you fell? The answer, the water. Do you think you would injure yourself? No. So why is it the fall? And typically what comes is, well, I don't want to look stupid. So what's really holding you back, and Napoleon Hill speaks of this, the fear of other people and thinking you're rich, is you're scared that if you fall paddleboarding, doing something that you've never done before, and you fell, that somehow you're going to look stupid and it's going to be irredeemable and no one will ever respect you in any area of expertise again. Is that about it? Now, that may be a little intense, and I know I exaggerate a little bit, but question, if you were scared of looking dumb doing something new that you've never absolutely ever done before and have no experience doing, and chances are you probably are going to fall a couple times, maybe not. If there is a area of your quote-unquote current expertise where you feel, let's say, less than adequate, and someone asks you a question regarding that area, would you drop your pride, admit you don't know the answer, do them a service, and help them as well as yourself learn what that answer possibly could be? Or is your pride going to take over and you're going to drum up some BS professional sounding answer just so you can save your pride and not look like an idiot, but in the end not only do that person a disservice, but further down the road do yourself a disservice when that person goes to another expert and through trial and tribulation they find out that your answer was actually wrong, or the way you did it was wrong. And instead of admitting that, you chose to essentially lie. Now you've lost credibility. People probably aren't as confident in your answers, and you've probably lost trust. I've heard it say that trust is gained in, I believe it's trust is gained in drops and lost by the gallon. So will it really be worth it? How do we get here so deep, so fast? I know. Well, that's just how I do things. But just a little food for thought as we float through the summer. It's not necessarily about the action. It's the thought process behind the action that always just intrigues me.